Hi, I'm Jenni Noyes, and I'm here today to tell you about my fifth artistic value, which is being present. When I started writing about these artistic values back at the end of last year, I found that while trying to explore this value in particular, I was aware of how difficult it was to be present. So many distractions, so many thoughts. We have thousands, tens of thousands of thoughts every day. Some of them we follow, some of them we don't bother. Those ones I'm consciously aware of are the ones that I've followed. I'm trying not to follow thoughts right now. Being present is where the joy is at. Being present is when you feel relaxed and available to connect with life. Whether I'm performing, when I'm on stage, it's so important for me to be present. The best gigs I've ever had are those where I was able to be present in that moment with my audience. Present within my body. As a singer, my body is my instrument. If my throat is all tense and tight, if my tongue is tense, if my mouth is tense, if my mind is wandering, this all needs to be relaxed around here and around here to create the caves for the vibrations to happen. And same with a musician, they need their body in a way is an extension of their instrument. When I play guitar, I need to be fully available for each note. And we're humans, we're imperfect, and we get distracted and our voice cracks, and those are all part of the real performances that and they're often what makes it an absolute pleasure and exciting, because you know that no two moment is going to be the same. When you're listening to a recording, you know it's going to be the same every time you listen to it, although you are going to change every time you listen to it. Your experience of that music is going to change, and that's what's particularly exciting about the live setting, the live performance setting, because it is so about being in the moment. It's wonderful as I talk about these values. Each time I speak about a value, I want to say to you, this is the most important value. But I do think they all contribute to one another. So by focusing some time on self-care, I'm looking after my body. By focusing time on self-esteem, I'm looking at sharing with others. Self-esteem, planning, self-care, and synthesis, which is spending more time doing the things that you love. Well, that was my interpretation of it. That was how I delivered it last week in synthesis. It's about spending time with your interests, more time with your interests. But if you allow time to make all of these important, by allowing time to make all of those things important, I am giving myself a better chance at being present. Because every time a thought comes into my head that has to do with planning, or has to do with looking after my body, or has to do with sharing my art with others, I can let it go. I can acknowledge it and I can let it go. I don't have to act on it because I've already made time to act on it in different places. And this is me really getting to know myself. I know this about myself, and I think it has been a big part of the last 6 months, really focusing inward and working out what's important to me, what values are important to me, how can I create space for what's important to me so that I can be present. Planning, I had a conversation with someone the other day about planning, another artist, and she really didn't like planning. It felt like it was a conflict with her art, because her art almost had to be spontaneous, it had to be in the moment, she had to be present for it, and by planning you're kind of putting edges on it and you're making it have boundaries, which is the opposite of what creativity should be in her mind, which is absolutely a point. But then I said to her, what happened if you were to plan 4 hours to think about 4 words? That is a hugely generous, indulgent amount of time to think about 4 words. And that appealed to her much more. So it's like, how much... We're not trying to fit everything into neat little boxes. So being present is about... all the other values are about making sure that when I get to a task, when I get to practicing with my voice or practicing my guitar or practicing my yoga, that when a thought comes into my mind, I can let it go because I know I've got it covered. But this is a lifelong journey. Being present is a lifelong journey. I keep having to return to why being present is important to me while I'm talking to you now, and also the two key things that I'm here today to tell you about is why it's important to me and those tools that I use to be present, should you want to explore that a little bit more for yourself. And the other reason I'm here is because I would love to hear from you also. If you have thoughts and ideas about being present, I would love to hear them. Because it's something that's that important to me, and it's probably going to take me forever. Because as I keep peeling back more layers, the more I realise there is underneath. So I'm going to keep returning to those key three themes in this Being Present blog. Why is being present important to me? How do I help myself to be more present? Being present is important to me because when I'm present, I have enough time to do everything. I also am the opposite of stressed. But stress is an interesting one because I think there is good stress, and I think that it's really complicated. So let's be really to the point with this. I get addicted to drama, to anger, to guilt and blame, and I think this is because I feel like it protects me. If I allow myself to look at those things or to be angry, it helps me to stand up for myself. If I feel guilty, it helps me to protect my friendships because then I think, oh, I acted badly, I should act differently. If I blame someone else, again, it's protecting myself from being hurt. But I don't think these are helpful things. These are just things emotions that they're being human, and I'm going to feel these things for the rest of my life. But what I have noticed is that the more I meditate every day, I've noticed that when I do meditate every day, well, I meditate 5 days a week at most, but I've noticed when I do that, I feel more present for the rest of the day. I have less drama, I have less negative thoughts. I notice an improvement in my quality of life. When I don't meditate, I feel the need to protect myself. And I think there's something about meditating as a tool to help you be present in your day-to-day life, because it helps you to remember that you're held by life, that life is actually supporting you, that you don't need to control everything, that you don't need to protect yourself. I can have faith in life. And it's difficult because we cut and we bleed and it hurts. Why is being present important to me? Being present is important to me because when I feel present, I can fully enjoy my relationship with the person that I am in the company of. I can feel love. I can feel compassion. I can feel forgiveness. How do we learn to be more present? I believe it is in being gratitude, being thankful for what you have got in your life, and forgiving people that have hurt you. This means that when you are thankful, for example, being present has got two elements. One is returning to breath, which is the simplest form. The second one is what's really important to us. So water, for example, is really important, and as you turn a tap on, water comes out. Now, we do this so many times a day. We use water for everything, for so many things, that it becomes second nature, and you're not present when you do it. You might sometimes be. Next time you turn the tap on, be aware of turning it on. Why? Because that's something to be grateful for. There are people out there who don't have running water. They have to walk miles for it. And this isn't, I don't say it to put you in a place of guilt, because that's not being present. But I say it because no matter what you are doing or what you have, someone else always would love to have what you have. There's always someone who is less well off than you. Whether it be a particular relationship you have with a parent, some people don't have parents. Relationship with your body, some people don't have access to feet or hands. Whether it be that you can see the daylight. In some parts of the world, they have days without any daylight. Some people have jobs where they can't see the daylight. There's a lot to be grateful for, and I know we all know this. I'm just reminding you. And the most beautiful part of this, being present, is that breath is the number one part of it. And if you don't have breath, you're not going to be alive. So you're always going to have breath. And you can always return to the breath, and you can always breathe into whatever cells you have left and replenish them and expand and feel at one. Quantum physics teaches us that we are at one and that we have no idea about anything. All the possible contradictions exist. Why is being present important to me? Being present is important to me because it means that I have enough time for everything. It means that I am motivated by love. It means that I spend less time in my ego and wanting to protect myself and keep other people away and present a different side to myself and wear a hood and wear a costume and hide behind a fragment of who I am and not give myself the respect of being exactly who I am. You are unique and perfect and amazing, and you need to hear that much more regularly. Have faith in life. How do we learn to be present in this moment, right here, right now? We return to the breath. Long, deep breath. Try it now. Breathe in through your nose, long and deeply. Close your eyes. Stop surfing the web. Close your eyes and take a deep breath in. And breathe out a long, deep breath. As you breathe in, breathe right into the bottom of your rib cage and up to the top of your chest. And hold it. and feel your infinite self. Feel all your cells being replenished. As you breathe out, imagine every part of your body relaxing gradually. Imagine that relaxation going down over your face, down over your shoulders, down your chest, down your abdomen, down to your feet. And take a long, deep breath in. Fill the abdomen, fill the chest, hold it, and breathe out. Feel your teeth relaxing one by one, your big toe, your little finger. Feel the eyeballs just sitting gently in the sockets. Get rid of all the stress, this frown mark here. Feel it disappear, melting into the world, and feel safe, feel held and feel supported by the chair, the ground, by life, by the universe. You are wonderful just the way you are. Imagine if you were 94. Wouldn't you make the most of this day? You wouldn't run away and suddenly go travelling or try and earn £1 million. You'd probably just tell the people that you love that you loved them. And you would certainly have to try to have faith in life because you're about to become a part of its infinite self. I don't know. This is going to be a lifelong journey for me. I meditate regularly so that I can remember to return to the breath as much as possible, and that I can make space and time to do what I love and be present with it and be present with the people that I love. And technology these days, be careful of it. Give yourself a window to work with your social media and surfing, because it's the information train and it's pretty stressful. So remember to take a deep breath, to turn it off, take a deep breath. That's all you have to do, just a couple of times a day, just to remember to return to the breath. Or not, it doesn't have to be important to you. But I'm here today to share with you why it's important to me and any tools. So if you've got any comments or ideas that you'd like to share with me, I would love to hear from you. This is such an important value to me, so your thoughts are so important to me also. So do get in touch. And you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube and SoundCloud. And I'll be here next week to talk about my last artistic value and why it's important to me. And it's all about being inspiring. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope you find time to be present with yourself and others. Lots of love. You are beautiful just the way you are.